not going this afternoon as a starter with Tom Emma. The series, Carolina leading 87 games to 64 in the tip. Controlled by the #1 Tar Heels of North Carolina, Jimmy Black. Duke opening up in his zone. Left side, Perkins back out cross court to Black. Over to Jordan. Missing, and Perkins comes away with it. Gets it back out to Jimmy Black. 2-1-2 zone for the Blue Devils. Worthy with the ball on the right side. Cross court. Jordan. Doherty. This is Jimmy Black. Jordan on the drive to the baseline. Covered up by Mahar. Throws it cross court to Black to Doherty. This crowd is wild, and there has not been a basket. Jordan. Cross court to Black. They're throwing the ball over the zone, but there's really not much movement within the zone against it. But Worthy puts it up and in, and Carolina out in front by a basket.
Duke starting out in a 2-3 zone. They prefer to play man-to-man, but they've been working on this 2-3 quite a bit. Carolina showing a lot of patience on the offensive end, finally getting a great shot by Jordan.
Tissaw, the center, was operating out front. England to Tissaw. Carolina, the #1 team in the nation with a perfect mark of 12 wins against no losses. England and Taylor are the guards. Tissaw playing a high post. On the drive, McNeely, and he ties it up off the glass.
Nice one-on-one move by McNeely that time. Sam Perkins came over to help out, didn't try to block the shot, just had good position, and McNeely put it in.
Jordan with the ball. I think I gave the basket last time to Worthy. It was Jordan, and Jordan takes his second shot. He got it. So Jordan has 2 baskets, 4-2. Carolina not putting any pressure, just letting them know they're there as they pick them up at midcourt.
Those outside shots are so important early against the Duke zone, and Michael Jordan's hit 2 in a row, much as he did against North Carolina State the other night.
Tissaw operating the ball out deep. I'll tell you, Carolina, the type of club, they're playing a man-to-man. You want to slow it down, they can do it. You want to run with them, they can run with you. You want to go in between, they can do it.
Well, to be #1 in the country, you have to be able to do everything, and they've shown that they can.
Mahar to Tissaw. Tissaw brings Perkins way out. He's on him. England, and it's batted out of bounds here on the near side by Jimmy Black. Black, the only senior on this ball club. This is, I'll tell you, the strength of this team. Only 1 man will they lose from the starting 5, and they'll lose 3 of their top 8. Nice pass, and all alone going for the drive is Mahar, the freshman from Ontario, Canada.
Carolina was playing the out-of-bounds play man-to-man. The man got screened off. Danny Mahar goes to the basket strong and shows what a good athlete he is.
So we're tied at 4. Jordan. Perkins way out on the right side. Jordan cross court to Jimmy Black. Into Worthy. Worthy kicks it back out to Black. Perkins to Worthy. Rather to Jordan. Back to Black. No good, and Mahar with the rebound for Duke. Duke with an opportunity to take the lead for the first time tonight. 3 minutes have gone by here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. It is bedlam, to say the least.
The crowd is certainly into this game, as it would be in any regional rivalry like the Duke-North Carolina game.
Tissaw out high. Dean Smith said, well, he may lose a game this year, but he did not want to lose this one at Duke.
Well, I'm sure they're out to win them all. They're 12-0 right now, having a great season, and certainly they expect to win this one. There was a lot of speculation before the game that Duke might try and slow it up. As you can see right now, I'd say at best they're just trying to be patient.
And that pass a little to the side from England to McNeely and out of bounds.
Good idea. McNeely was open, but he couldn't handle. The pass was behind him a little bit. Carolina's basketball.
All tied at 4. Tissaw in the middle of that 2-1-2 defense. Looks like an adjustable 2-1-2 or a 2-3 as he slides up depending on the flow of the offense. Black, Doherty. No good. Doherty on a rough night the other night. 1 for 6. He's the guy that broke Kentucky's back with 4 straight.
That's the wonderful thing about this Carolina team. They've got 5 or 6 players that can hurt you on a given night. Matt Doherty's Mr. Dependable. He's a good, solid player.
Dangerous pass, but McNeely got it, and Perkins fouls McNeely. That is our first foul of the ball game. I believe he was in the act of shooting and will go to the line. You're correct, Jeff. So McNeely a 63% free throw shooter for the year, has an opportunity to give Duke the lead for the first time. Carolina led 2-0. Duke promptly tied it up. Went 4-2, promptly tied it up, and now Duke, for the first time, has a 1-point lead. Making a 2-point spread, 6-4. So with the score, Duke 6, North Carolina 4. Let's pause for these messages.
The trap a little bit more, maybe trying to create some confusion with this Duke team.
All right, no lineup changes after the timeout. Jimmy Black with the ball on the left side. Matt Doherty, 2 New Yorkers on that left side. Black top of the key. He is wide open and pops it in to tie the score at 6.
Carolina's 3 for 5 from the floor. That's pretty good outside shooting against the zone early in this game.
Black and Jordan putting a little more pressure on now than they had the last couple times down. They picked him up and then they drop off near the timeline, but that time Jordan kept the pressure up in the backcourt.
Well, I think they want to up the tempo a little bit, try and create a few more mistakes.
Vince Taylor, the only senior starter on this Duke ball club. McNeely to Tissaw. The best shooter on this ball club is standing near the timeline. That's Chip England from Pacific Palisades, California. Taylor to McNeely. Doherty on it, and the mismatch in the favor of Carolina, and it's stolen away. Carolina on the drive, tied at 6. Doherty, formerly a guard, now a forward. He likes that forward spot, and Worthy makes the basket, and he is fouled by Taylor.
Give credit to Matt Doherty on that play. He faked the shot, drew the defense to him, dumped it down to James Worthy, and he is so tough inside. Here he gets the ball, makes a nice spin move, looked like he was fouled twice, lays it off.
Almost a 68% free throw shooter, 67-9. And Carolina now has scored 5 straight points, and they lead it 9-6.
A little more
trap.
Trapping pressure.
Taylor in trouble. Kicks it out to McNeely. They get a 2-on-1, and McNeely is covered up by Perkins. Out to Tissaw. We have a whistle and a 3-second violation charged against Duke. So the turnover gives Carolina the ball.
Doug McNeely thought he could go straight to the basket, got cut off by Sam's Perkins.
And we're going to have a substitution for North Carolina. Jimmy Braddock, a junior out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, coming into the ball game, replacing Mike Jordan.
Get a look at Dean Smith's wonderful coaching record, and to think this might be his best team of all time, certainly their best start of all time.
Doherty, left side to Black in the corner to Braddock. Braddock open for the 15-footers, got it. And it's now an 11-6 ball game. 7 straight points for Carolina. Duke has only led one, 6-4, and a couple of free throws by Vince Taylor. Mahar, 2-timed, and he is fouled from behind by Worthy. So James Worthy, 6'9" junior out of Gastonia, North Carolina, charged with a foul.
The amazing thing of Carolina's first 11 points, 4 baskets inside, 1 outside. I'm sorry, 4 outside, 1 inside. Of course, they'd like to get the ball in, but that hurts this Duke zone. It might pull them out of it.
And it's batted out of bounds by Black. You just saw Mike Krzyzewski, the Duke coach, and his record here at Duke, 521-21. On the other side of the court, Dean Smith is only 2 victories away from 450 for the Tar Heels. Chip England, right side. Carolina now in a zone. They were in a man-to-man. Taylor shoots over it. No good, and the rebound off to Worthy. Worthy to Braddock. Fast breaking in the front court, Jimmy Black. Nice give and go, and Braddock has to bring it back out as Taylor covered him up. Good defense by Taylor. Right side, Doherty missing his second shot. Mahar coming up with the rebound. Duke down by 5. Carolina with 7 unanswered points. Duke has won 3 of their last 4 at home against Carolina. McNeely. Right side, Taylor from the baseline, comes up short, and Perkins comes away with it. Carolina on the run. Jimmy Black, you see his right thigh bandaged up. Jimmy Braddock, he's 2-time. Worthy down low, batted away, and out of bounds it will be. Carolina's ball. Mahar got a hand on it. So, as they would say, Jordan getting a little bit of a blow, and Braddock coming in for him, now quickly back out.
Jimmy Braddock did a good job going 1 for 1 from the field, hitting again those very important outside shots.
Lob pass into Perkins. Missing. It was tipped up and in by Black. And Tissaw pushed it back out, but the basket goes to Carolina, their 9th straight point.
The high lob in high to Sam Perkins. He comes down strong with it, goes up. Look at Jimmy Black get position, tips it in. Tissaw knocks it out through the rim. Of course, basket for Carolina.
Taylor two-time and almost stolen away. Mahar underneath to Tissaw. Beautiful pass.
Very nice play by Danny Mahar. Good inside basket by Tissaw. Duke, however, is holding the ball a little bit too long. They're dangerously close to having those double-team passes intercepted.
And that broke the string of 9 straight Carolina points. 13-8. Carolina by 5. Black missing off the iron to Taylor. Taylor, nice behind the back dribble. He got it off the glass. Took him one-on-one.
Vince Taylor, the outstanding guard, probably he's at his best in the open floor, as we saw that time against Jimmy Black.
So down by 7 now after 2 straight baskets, down by 4. And James Worthy was doing a little pushing off the freshman Mahar. And the turnover gives Duke the ball, and they can move within a point.
A little inside pushing between Mahar and Worthy. The officials very alertly calling it close early in this game, knowing that it's such a rivalry and tempers Duke flair.
So it'll be Duke's ball. 12-17 left to be played here in the first half. Duke 0-3 in the conference. Conversely, Carolina 3-0 in the conference and 12-0 overall in the country. Number 1 in the nation. Taylor was trapped the last time he brought the ball in the front court on that side prior to his drive on Jimmy Black. McNeely in the lane, 5-footer, a little hard off the iron, and coming away with it is Michael Jordan. Carolina, Black on the right side. Left side, Perkins, and the big setter out of Latham, New York, pops it in 15-10.
Sam Perkins, an outstanding defensive player, rebounder, shot blocker, but what an asset when you can shoot that 16-foot shot and you're 6'10". What a great player.
Greg Wendt getting ready to check in for Duke. Tissaw, top of the key. Chip England on the right side. Black playing him one-on-one. Carolina back into a man-to-man. They started out that way, went into a zone for one transition down the court, then went back into the man-to-man. On the right side, Taylor. Taylor, native of Jeff Mullins' hometown, Lexington, Kentucky. Both winding up at Duke, away from the land of Rupp. Taylor underneath. Nice move. He gets the basket. Taylor makes it a 3-point ball game. That's his second basket. 11 minutes left to be played.
And Vince Taylor, Duke likes to use him down low. That time he got matched up with Doherty down low. He still had to make a very difficult shot, but he did.
Black, right side, Michael Jordan. And might be the outstanding freshman in the league. Misses. McNeely on the drive. Black had position. It's an offensive foul. McNeely upset, but there was no doubt about it. He was there for a long time.
Absolutely no doubt about it. And there was one thing that Carolina did so well that time, their communication on the fast break defense.
So we'll be back with more ACC basketball after these messages from institutions in the ball game. At the guard spot for North Carolina, coming in Buzz Peterson and Jimmy Braddock back in. This is Braddock running the attack. Duke still in the zone. Also in the ball game, Chris Burst from North Carolina. And Braddock with the basket. And Carolina shooting better than 50% now. They're 8 of 15. Duke 5 of 8, 60%, but the turnovers 4-1. Duke has committed 4 turnovers. Carolina with a 5-point lead. Mahar from the outside off the back iron. Tissaw coming up with a loose ball. Vince Taylor driving on. Jordan passes off, and the drive good by the big man, Mike Tissaw, 6'8" junior out of Fairfax, Virginia. Braddock. Chattanooga with the ball. Jordan. Out to Buzz Peterson. Asheville, North Carolina. Cross court to Braddock, almost thrown away.
The 2-3 zone by Duke is doing a good job of keeping the ball outside. However, Carolina doing a great job inside. That time, Chris Bruss called for reaching over the back, called for the foul.
That ball a little too much backspin as it was in there, but slipped out.
Jimmy Braddock's a fine player. Mike Krzyzewski talking about today's game. He knows they can't have as many turnovers as they've had in the first 10 minutes of play. When you're trying to control the tempo of the game, you have to control the basketball. They have 5 turnovers thus far.
All right, Jordan goes out. Doherty back in for North Carolina. Worthy, Perkins, and Doherty on the front line. Braddock along with Jimmy Black, and they're going to two-time Vince Taylor. Chip England with the ball, and he is stripped by Jimmy Black into the front court. On the drive, passes off to Doherty, or correction, Braddock, and he lost the ball. Now Carolina switching their defense. They'll play straight up man-to-man. They went into a zone one time. As you look at Dean Smith's quote, never easy to win here. And they lost in overtime by a point last year, but then they go into that trap.
Well, they very alertly, when an offensive player turns his back on the ball, they're double teaming, as Jimmy Black did that last possession.
Greg Wendt, 6'6" freshman out of Detroit Central Catholic High School, a native of Livonia, Michigan, number 25 in the game for Duke. He's got the ball right now. 17-14, Carolina by 3. Their biggest lead has been 7. That was when they reeled off 9 straight points. McNeely in the corner to Taylor. Now he's going to be two-time, kicks it way out to Chip England. He's the best shooter of the ball club, has yet to be able to take a shot here tonight.
Well, he's playing in Tom Emma's position today. He's playing as the point guard out front.
Tissaw. Does McNeely. And it's a one-point ball game, 17-16. North Carolina. 8 minutes, 10 seconds left to be played in the first half. Taylor and England, the front men in that 2-1-2 zone. Tissaw, the middleman. Cross court to Jimmy Braddock. Braddock to Black, right side, covered up by England. Into Perkins. Back out to Black. Hit the top of the backboard. It'll be Duke's ball. And the Blue Devils, who have led only once in this ball game, have an opportunity to regain the lead. So with the score, North Carolina 17, Duke 16. Let's pause for these messages. Youngster gets it to Chip England. This is a young ball club. 5 freshmen, 3 sophomores, 4 juniors, and only 1 senior for the Blue Devils. Oh, we're talking about that Virginia game tomorrow. They're like an NBA team. That'll be their 3rd game in 4 days as Taylor misses from outside. Doherty with the rebound for North Carolina. Tar Heels on the attack. Jimmy Black. Doherty. Right side to Michael Jordan. Back out to Black. Jordan wanted to shoot. Went reaching around. Lucky he didn't get a foul. Dean Smith up off the bench complaining about it. Doherty covered up on the left side. Weak side man is Jordan. Not open. Black. Underneath. The Worthy off his fingertips into the hands of Mike Tissaw.
Great pass by Jimmy Black that time, but James Worthy didn't see it coming. It slipped through his fingers.
So Chip England in the front court. Jimmy Black on him. He goes to the baseline. His first shot of the afternoon, or evening, I should say, no good. And Worthy is fouled by England after he came away with the rebound.
Not a good play. That's Chip England's shot. You'll see the rebound, the ball go up, the rebound come off. Everyone for Duke is under the basket. I think Chip England saved the layup at the other end because James Worthy had an open streak right to the basket.
So North Carolina with the ball. They have their starting lineup intact. Jordan and Black at the guards. Worthy and Doherty at the wings. And Perkins in the middle. Black left side, almost taken away by Taylor. 1-point ball game, 6:13 left to be played here in the first half. Cross court, Matt Doherty. He's 0 for 2 today. Make it 1 for 3. North Carolina 19, Duke 16.
North Carolina not rushing their shots from the outside, taking the very slow, deliberate shots, but making a good percentage of them from the outside.
Well, the old bromide that patience is a virtue seems to be never truer in the game of basketball when you're playing against a zone. Chip England. He had not taken a shot for the first 13 minutes. He's 1 for 2 now. 1-point ball game. North Carolina 19, Duke 18. Cross court. Doherty. I'll tell you one thing. North Carolina is not afraid to throw that ball cross court. And coming up with the basket is James Worthy. North Carolina back by 3.
That's good offense against the zone defense. That time Matt Doherty driving into the seam of the zone, drawing the defense to him, and then hitting James Worthy for an easy shot underneath. Carolina called for the foul on the other end. That's Jordan and Worthy's. North Carolina. Duke has committed but 3. England. Perkins and Black on him momentarily. Taylor to Mahar. Mahar way out on the wing.
Mahar, a freshman out of St. Catharines, Ontario, better known for their great hockey programs in that city than basketball. But he earned himself a scholarship here to Duke, and England is stripped from behind by Black, but did not control it, out of bounds, off of Black's hands, and Doug McNeely up over the press table, but he is all right.
From behind by Jimmy Black. Both players go after the basketball. It looked like it might have.
England underneath to McNeely, comes out and misses. Taylor has it batted away. Mahar coming up with it. No good. Overshot it off the glass. Doherty to Black. Carolina on the run, leading by 3. Out to Black. Doherty. He's 2 for 4 after missing his first 2 shots. He's come back with 2. 23-18.
And he's had a direct hand in the last 6 points for Carolina. He scored 2 baskets and made a great pass to James Worthy.
North Carolina has outscored Duke 5-2 in the last few minutes. Open up a 5-point lead. Their biggest has been 7. Duke's biggest 2 at 6-4. Mahar to Tissaw. Tissaw going against Perkins. Holds up on the right side to Mahar, looking down low. They have not allowed too many people to get low.
Carolina's a good defensive team, and they put a lot of pressure on the ball, as well as double team whenever they can.
Some believe they're a better defensive team this year than they were a year ago. Taylor off the glass, no good. Coming back with a shot and missing was Mahar, but he was fouled.
That's the way Vince Taylor's been operating all season, doing a good job down. That time Sam Perkins came over, did what he does best, made a block shot. Danny Mahar stayed after the ball and was fouled on his second shot.
And Matt Doherty charged with the foul. Jimmy Braddock back in the ball game. Jimmy Black is out, a 2-shot foul. Mahar gets it. 70% free throw shooter for the year. 23-19, North Carolina by 4. Make it 3. So with the score, North Carolina 23, Duke 20. We'll be back with more ACC basketball after these messages. In an ACC University, our Pepsi-Cola feature this week in the ACC, and scores of other games played today. Lauren Brown along with Jeff Mullins from Cameron Indoor Stadium with 3:49 left to be played here in the first half. With the score, North Carolina 23 and Duke 20.
This is a very important 3.5 minutes, too. Carolina, Duke knows well, is like a time bomb that can explode at any time. If they can keep the game close going into the locker room at halftime, they'll have had a great half.
North Carolina 11 for 20, 55% from the field. Duke 8 out of 17, 47%. Jimmy Braddock to Mike Jordan. Jordan dishes off to Worthy. In and out. Doug McNeely, high man for Duke with 6 points, brings it into the front court. Blue Devils with an opportunity to get within 1. Taylor open as he was 2-timed. He got it. England got 2-timed, and he found Taylor. He was eventually fouled, and a chance for the 3-point play. The foul on Matt Doherty.
Very alert play by Chip England. Vince has an open lane to the basket. Doherty comes from behind, hits the ball and perhaps the head. Vince Taylor makes the basket. A chance for a 3-point play, and we may have a tie ball game.
You know, England starting today. He's normally not been a starter, but he is still 10th in the Atlantic Coast Conference in assists with 3. So Taylor now with 6 points. Picked off. 3-point play opportunity is good. We are tied with 3:16 left to be played in the first half. In a dandy of a ball game, unbeaten North Carolina against Duke. 0-3 in conference play. Almost threw it away. Braddock to Jordan. Jimmy Black, basically a 3-guard offense right now.
This is perhaps North Carolina's quickest team. And there's James Worthy. He seems to go to work when they need the basket.
25-23. North Carolina with the lead. Doug McNeely. Batted away by Carolina and saved. A nice save as Worthy gets it, and credit Michael Jordan with that save. Jimmy Braddock left side. The turnover giving Carolina the ball is not costly as the shot is missed. And Mahar comes away with it as Jordan missed from outside. Duke with an opportunity to tie the contest. 2:20 left to be played here in the first half. Mahar out to Doug McNeely. McNeely to the free throw line. He got it. Both he and Taylor with 8 apiece were tied at 25.
And what a lift Doug McNeely is giving this Duke team. He is perhaps the finest athlete on the Duke squad. However, he's not usually much of a scorer, averaging only.
Perkins loses it. Taylor, a 2-on-1. He drives. He got it. He is fouled by Braddock. And for the second time this afternoon, Duke out in front by a pair, 27-25. 9 points for Taylor.
Here's the steal. We see Taylor pick up the basketball. They have a 2-on-1 break. Jimmy Braddock tries to get position. He doesn't quite have it. Vince Taylor takes it all away and is fouled.
So Taylor going to the line with his second straight three-point opportunity. If he should make it in this stretch, Duke has come back to outscore North Carolina 10-2 over this period of time. And we're talking roughly about 4 minutes. Taylor, 70% free throw shooter, biggest lead of the night for Duke. 28-25. A minute 50 left to be played here in the first half. I got to believe if Carolina does not come away with a basket, Duke might put it in the deep freeze for one final shot.
I think they would like to do that if they can hold Carolina one time.
Braddock left side. No good, and a foul, I believe, on Mahar, pushing off on Perkins. That'll be the 4th team foul against the Blue Devils.
Peterson from the side. The shot's a little long. Mahar pushing. Perkins from behind. Very alert call by the official.
I think we mentioned Braddock, but it is Peterson. Thank you, Jeff. Back into the ballgame for the second time this afternoon. Michael Jordan on the inbound.
We hear so much about Michael Jordan and what he has done for this Carolina team, but Buzz Peterson was an outstanding high school prospect.
Peterson over to Jimmy Black. Minute 30 left to be played. First half. Michael Jordan still operating with a 3-guard offense. Worthy in the lane. Comes up with it. 28-27. Duke by 1.
Notice when Carolina gets in trouble, they go inside to James Worthy. And more often than not, he delivers. He reminds me in that lane area so much of the great Oscar Robertson because he gets a good shot every time.
Taylor recovers after Black batted away, and he got it. Vince Taylor recovered after Black tipped it. He got control and got it. Buzz Peterson, 30-27. Black.
Again, in motion.
They go to
Taylor
Worthy
is
again.
A great basketball player.
Kicked it back out. Peterson to Black, and Black's got it. 30-29. 47 seconds left to be played. Now looks like Carolina's going to put some pressure on. Now they're going to drop back.
And Duke coach Mike Krzyzewski's got his finger up for one shot. They'd like to take a shot with about 5 seconds left, but there's a lot of time left, and Carolina's going to put on a lot of pressure.
Black and Taylor putting on a good show against each other. Now McNeely gets around Worthy, and it's intended for England, tipped out of bounds by Perkins. So with 24 seconds left to be played here in the first half, Duke nursing a 1-point lead will inbound under their own basket. Peterson going out of the ball game, and Braddock back in for North Carolina as you take a look at the veteran Dean Smith, coach of these Tar Heels. Out to McNeely. Tissaw playing deep. Now Carolina going into a zone here. Black and Braddock the front men. Doherty is sitting on the bench with 3 fouls at this point. Chip England came away with the basket. 32-29. 5 seconds left to be played. Black does not see the clock. Jordan puts it up. He got it off balance, and the first half will come to a close with the heavily underdog Duke Blue Devils out in front by a score of 32-31. We'll be back with our recap of the first half after these messages. For North Carolina, 56% for Duke. Free throws, big difference. 5-point spread as far as Duke's concerned.
Offensively, I think both teams are
same. That is England and Taylor at the guards, Tissaw in the middle, and Mahar and McNeely on the wings. Black had it bounced off him by Taylor. into Jordan. He did not get it, and he was fouled by McNeely. McNeely, frustrated, thought that if he got the ball, he'd go out of bounds. Threw it off of Black, but instead of carrying out of bounds, Black got it on the missed shot and the foul.
Good defense again by North Carolina. Vince Taylor being trapped in a pinch and keeping the ball again a little bit too long. Vince is letting them trap him. North Carolina stole the ball. Nice play inside by Michael Jordan. 2
shots for Jordan, and he gets the first. We have a tie ball game. We are just underway in the second half, only 6 ticks off the clock. That was the second foul on McNeely. And batted out by Worthy. Jimmy Black with it. Jordan cross court to Doherty. Perkins makes a move inside. No good. Jordan with it. No good. And Chip England coming away with the ball. Tom Emma sprained his ankle in the Wake Forest game. He is dressed, but he has not seen action here this afternoon for Duke. They are tied at 2, 32 all. Duke's biggest lead at 3 points in the ball game. North Carolina at 7. Coming away with the strip is Jimmy Black, all the way down in North Carolina.
That's twice that Jimmy Black's made that kind of block coming from behind. That time he got Doug McNeely, went all the way for a nice layup and a good steal.
And Mike Krzyzewski just tipped that inbound pass into the hands of Perkins. So North Carolina with 3 straight points here in the second half with the ball. Jimmy Black down low to Worthy. 3-time, but he gets it up and in off the glass. 36-32, 5 straight points for North Carolina in just a little over a minute of play here in the second half.
And you can see more intensity in the Carolina defense. They're picking up higher. There's a lot more hands and activity. And on the offensive end, 2 of their baskets have been inside. They've worked the ball inside to get easy shots.
Jimmy Black tipping that out of bounds. He's had his hand on the ball defensively 4 times here already. And Greg Wendt coming in. Doug McNeely going out. For the Blue Devils, Chip England. We mentioned Tom Emma not in the ball game thus far for Duke. Wendt, cross court. England, California native, to Taylor. Right side to Wendt. Wendt, too hard off the glass, and he followed up and came with a foul as he tried to follow up, but crashed into his man before that ball came off the glass.
Greg Wendt made a good fake there, went up, then he got off balance, tried to shoot it over Sam Perkins. Good defense by Perkins. A little bit of anxious play by the freshman. Greg Wendt.
North Carolina with the ball. They have scored 5 in a row. At one point in the first half, they had a 9-point string. This shot by Black. James Worthy with it to Perkins. Under 2 deep, had to kick it out. Worthy to Black. 2-1-2 zone employed by Duke. They've used it all game. Doherty missing. And coming away with it, Tissot. Matt Doherty, an excellent shooter, has had problems these last couple of games against North Carolina State. And here this afternoon against Duke. Went with the ball. To Taylor, overplayed by Jordan. And he got behind him, 36-34.
Excellent pass inside by Wendt that time. Taylor and Jordan, perhaps the 2 finest 6'4" athletes in the ACC, going head-to-head. That time Vince Taylor got free for an easy shot inside.
Duke trying to pull the upset. This shot by Jordan, and underneath, the foul is charged on Wendt against James Worthy.
Not only has North Carolina's defense picked up its intensity, but watch this inside play by James Worthy. Fighting for position. He goes way up above everybody. Fouls as he goes up and prevents it.
2-shot foul. He cans the first, and for Worthy, giving North Carolina a 3-point lead. That is his 12th point of the ball game. High for the Carolinians. Missing the second. Vince Taylor with the ball. Duke trailing by 3. They've had but 1 basket here in the second half. Wendt to Mahar, back to Wendt. Couple of freshmen in the ball game now. Mahar and Wendt. Mahar out to Wendt. A lot of pressure when you're just a freshman and you're playing against the #1 team in the nation, let alone a conference game.
Mahar and Wendt are good ball handlers. I think that's why Coach Krzyzewski has them in there.
Taylor with good hands. That ball looked like it was destined towards the fans, but Taylor did a nice job of scooping it up in the air and getting the basket. 37-36, 16 for Vince Taylor. He had 18 the other night against Wake Forest. Doherty Out to Jordan. 16 and a half minutes to be played in the ball game. Jimmy Black from the Bronx. Jordan back to Black. Open on the wing, but instead gets it low to Worthy. He comes out and misses, but Wendt picks up his second quick foul here in the second half. So Worthy, who had just left the line going 1 for 1, is fouled again. 1 for 2, actually. Got the front end. It's a 2-shot foul. And now he is back at the line.
Save this pass. Vince Taylor going high for the ball, makes a reverse. On the other end, James Worthy, when he's getting the ball inside now, he's looking at the basket a lot more actively, and he is so tough in that lane area.
He has missed 2 straight free throws, and he gets that one. 2-point ball game, 38-36, North Carolina. Taylor 2-time in the backcourt. Brings it out. Jordan and Black on him. Carolina playing aggressive defense. Underneath Taylor, he got it. Beautiful pass, beautiful basket. Oh, brother, Duke hanging in there.
Chip England doing a nice job at the point position, made a high pass. He saw that the Carolina man had his head turned. Again, Vince Taylor's athletic ability laying it in.
Taylor with 18 points tonight. Well, North Carolina came out here like they might run him off the court early in the first half, early in the second half, but each time Duke has come right back at him. Jimmy Black with the basket. 40-38. Mahar. Youngster trying to drive off the wing. Lost his balance on the ball. Jimmy Black. Bounce pass. Perkins. He got it. He is fouled. That is the 3rd foul on Wendt in this half. I believe that is only the 2nd basket of the day for Perkins, who is the 4th leading scorer in the conference.
Here's the turnover. Jimmy Black's got the ball in the middle. He hits Sam Perkins, 6'10", and he pulls up on the wing for the little 12-foot shot. What a fine player Sam Perkins is.
Surprised that's only his 2nd.
I'm just still amazed at that play by Sam Perkins. Again, a center running the length of the floor and then pulling up from about 12 feet for an easy shot. What a great play for a center.
43-38. So all of a sudden, tied at 38, North Carolina right back with 5 straight points. That's the 2nd time they've had a string of 5 straight here in the second half. Taylor in problems, but he gets it out to Tissot. To England. Back to Tissot on the give and go, and the driving layup off the glass. 43-40.
Another nice assist from Chip England, going into the seam of the defense, seeing Tissot open and making a nice pass to him.
England really the team player here. He likes to shoot a lot, but he's had about 3 big assists off the glass and in for Michael Jordan. Honey Field will be the Rookie of the Year in the ACC this year. Carolina by 5. Wendt. Bounce pass. Very bad pass, to say the least, because he had 2 men in the lane. Carolina comes away with it. Jimmy Black misses off the front iron, and that's a break for Duke. They could have been down by 7 very easily. Taylor. Shot by Worthy. Worthy really getting off his feet.
Well, if it hadn't been James Worthy, I think it was Sam Perkins, because he was there too to make the block. Here's Taylor going to the basket. Worthy in front, Perkins behind, but Worthy knocked it out.
So we have a timeout with the score. North Carolina 45, Duke 40. Let's pause for these messages. There are turnovers. Duke 5, North Carolina nothing in the second half. They were even up at 4-4 in the first half. England on the inbound. Out to Taylor. Right side, Chip England got it. Chip England, what a game he's had. He really hasn't scored that much. He's the leading field goal shooter for this ball club at almost 58%. He's had 3 big assists. One of them you just saw a moment ago. 45-42, North Carolina by 3. Cross court to Doherty. Black to Jordan. Off the glass and in.
Michael Jordan certainly likes that spot, and he used the backboard very well that time. He's such a fine athlete, and yet with a feathery touch from the outside.
McNeely back in the ball game was 2-time. Taylor coming up short off the iron. Jimmy Black, look at the great switch with his hands. Jordan, cross court, Jimmy Black. Carolina, #1 in the nation, trying to avert an upset here. And putting it up and in. 13 points now. Or rather 7, correction. 7 in the second half, I should say. There we go, 13 for Jordan.
And again, Michael Jordan showing that he can use the glass very well.
Well, this equals the biggest lead of the night for North Carolina. Taylor's open and rimming the basket and out. Jimmy Black, what a rather Jordan to Doherty. And kicked back out by Burst in the ball game. Black with it. Chris Burst out of Babylon, New York, a senior in the game. 7-point lead for North Carolina. They led early in the game, 13-6 after scoring 9 straight points. Now they lead by 7, 49-42. A lot of time to go. 12:45 to be exact. Doherty in the lane. All those soft touches, lip of the rim, back of the rim, and in. 51-42, the biggest lead of the night for North Carolina with 12.5 to go.
And that's what Matt Doherty does so well for his Tar Heel team, going into the seam of the zone, getting it into that 10, 12-foot range.
England missing. McNeely has it batted out of his hands by Jimmy Black. What great hands this kid has.
Perhaps the unsung hero of this Tar Heel team. Jimmy Black is the floor leader. He's a much better shooter than people give him credit for, and he's the one that shows tremendous poise out there when they need it.
Good hands, good quickness. You'll see him in the NBA next year. Doherty to Jimmy Black. No good. Doherty battling Mahar for it, and Doherty comes up with it after Mahar tipped it back to him. Doherty missing, but it is tipped up and in by Michael Jordan. 53-42. All of a sudden, North Carolina has an 11-point lead. So with the score 53-42, let's pause for these messages. Where Carolina leads by a score of 53-42. Now a technical foul, and Jimmy Black just made the front end.
A technical was called, I think, on Coach Mike Krzyzewski during that timeout. He was doing a lot of talking with the officials.
So that means North Carolina has outscored Duke 23-10 after trailing by a point at halftime. Here in just 8.5 minutes of play at the start of this second half. Matt Doherty. Jimmy Braddock in the game for the first time in the second half. Jimmy Black telling him, you get over here and screen for me, and I'll go to the top of the key. And he does it and gets it to Doherty in the corner. Doherty's had a rough time tonight, but not that time. Matt Doherty makes it 56-42. 25-10. The Blue Devils have been outscored here in the first half of the second half. If that makes any sense to you.
We can see why Carolina is certainly the #1 rated team in the country. We know that they like to go inside whenever they can, but when they can and they have to go to the outside, they've got players that can do it. As Jordan has shown today, Doherty, Jimmy Black, Braddock, they've got the outside shooters if they have to go to it.
Another case of Jimmy Black getting a hand on the ball. Joe Braddock giving Jordan a little bit of a blow is back on the bench as Jordan is back in. North Carolina with their starting lineup intact. 14-point lead for the Tar Heels. Taylor. Shot blocked by Jordan. Kicked out by Doherty. Jimmy Black can't control it. Jordan has it. And a battle for the ball. Thought we might have get a little traveling called on that, but that was not the case. His ball. Dean Smith looking on. Tar Heels have won 12 in a row, and they're winning number 13 here. 14-point lead. Jordan to Black. Duke staying in that zone. And it is out of bounds. It'll be Duke's ball, I believe, off of Doherty. You wonder, down by 14 with 10:25 to go, how long Duke can stay in this zone. Here's the percentages. The same practically, but Carolina with 10 more shots.
10 more shots in the second half.
5 more baskets. What do you think about that as far as the zone's concerned by Duke?
Well, they're going to have to come out sooner or later, but I'm sure Coach Krzyzewski's afraid to come out and commit too much because, as we mentioned, this Carolina team is so explosive if you let them play their game.
Chip England, Doug McNeely, Mahar. Duke has only used 6 players, and we see Tom Emma getting ready to check in now. Went is the only other player to see action beyond the starting 5. England on the drive, gets the basket. He had a great first half. That is his first basket in the second half. He's got 10 points. 56-44. North Carolina on the attack. Jimmy Black just walking the ball into the front court with a 12-point lead. Jordan on the weak side.
With a 12-point lead, I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Smith pull the ball out and make Duke come out and play man-to-man defense. He's in control with that 12-point lead.
Well, I'll tell you what they did the other night against the Wolfpack at North Carolina State. They went into that spread offense with 6:40 to go, and all they did was go 6 for 6 from the field and make 12 out of 13 free throw attempts.
Well, it's a very well disguised stall, yet it's an offense. They'll look to score out of that stall offense if you let them.
Exactly. 8:50 left to be played. North Carolina. Well, they'll be at home against Wake Forest next week. Wake Forest losing their first conference game of the year at home 52-50 to North Carolina State this afternoon. Mention that game tomorrow, Clemson against Virginia. A lot of games next week. In particular, Duke will be hosting North Carolina State on Wednesday, going to Clemson on Saturday. While Thursday, Wake Forest is at North Carolina. I think I said Saturday, but they'll be at North Carolina on Thursday. Then Saturday, North Carolina will be at Georgia Tech. Eating up off the clock. Looked like Doherty a couple times wanted to shoot, but that patience. Perkins does and gets it. 58-44, equaling the biggest lead of the night. 14 points with 8 minutes left to be played in the ball game.
And they used up about a minute and a half of clock that last sequence.
Now North Carolina going into his zone, a 2-1-2. McNeely, cross court, Chip England. Mahar, these Duke kids have given him a battle. Traveling before he got it off, no basket. Mike Krzyzewski out of Army. Rick Johnson, one of his assistants with him. Well, they say the toughest thing in the world is for a college coach, Jeff, in his second year. Usually you inherit a couple of seniors. That second year you wind up with a lot of freshmen, underclassmen, plus everybody knows your style within the conference, and that's what Mike Krzyzewski's going through right now as well, as the basket is good by Mike Jordan. 16-point lead now for North Carolina.
That's 4 off the glass. I love to see a player use that backboard, and Michael Jordan is certainly proving to be one of the best today at that.
Foul on Jordan. You're like me. I like to see it off the glass too, but when we make those kind of statements, we're showing our age.
There's a great basketball player from North Carolina who played for the Celtics for many years, who I think was one of the best. Sam Jones, probably the best at using the backboard. And Michael Jordan shows a lot of those traits and characteristics in his style of play. Very soft outside shot, good athlete.
Mahar, that one he didn't want off the glass. He wanted it all net, but it was off to the right. 60-44. North Carolina with the ball in a very comfortable margin. Hey, you know, the old days they used to teach you to use the glass. But they weren't glass in those days. They were backboards.
Well, I think a lot of teams still do, and certainly North Carolina uses the glass.
Yes,
I know
they
the
do.
old UCLA teams under John Wooden had drills where they used to practice using the backboard on fast break situations and against the zone.
Use any advantage you can get.
Absolutely.
6.5 minutes left to be played in the ball game. At halftime, Duke had led by a point, but since that time they have scored 12 points, while North Carolina has scored 29 to open up a 16-point lead. Perkins, this is Jimmy Black. He got it. 18-point lead. 62-44. Vince Taylor. Mahar. Taylor. Out of bounds. Greg Wendt getting ready to come back in. We have a timeout for North Carolina with the score. North Carolina 62, Duke 44. Let's pause for these messages. Basically the same, but 12 more shots for North Carolina and 7 more baskets. And Jordan has been a big man. 17 points, 11 in the second half. We talked a lot about Jimmy Black because he's causing things to happen, but Jordan's getting the points.
Well, when you look at this starting five for the University of North Carolina, you can talk about a lot of folks because they're all great players. They all have a role to play, and they do it so very well.
And I know folks in the ACC are well aware, but folks across the nation, they only lose one player, Jimmy Black, from their starting five. And a turnover will give Duke the ball.
And Coach Dean Smith is so good at planning ahead and bringing in a player to fill a void. Last year they lost Al Wood off a finalist team in the NCAA, and here they got Michael Jordan. So I would look to find a playmaking guard somewhere on that bench or out there in high school right now.
Vince Taylor with the ball for Duke, and he is fouled. I think Jimmy Black might have given him a hip, or did Mr. Doherty? We'll take a look at it.
Vince Taylor in motion again. The crossover move that he likes so well gets into the lane. Looked like Jimmy Black might have had a hand on his hip as he started his move to the basket. Bad trend, though. Duke is trying to do it with the basketball. Vince Taylor's going a little bit too much one-on-one. He's had a great first two-thirds of the game, but they've got to let their offense do it against this great Carolina team.
Taylor, unmolested, puts it in, 62-46. Taylor now with 20 points for the Blue Devils. 5 minutes, 5 seconds left to be played in this contest.
For the first time in this game, Duke in a man-to-man defense.
And Worthy puts it up over England.
And that's exactly the reason they didn't want to be in the man-to-man if they didn't have to. Doug McNeely down low with James Worthy, giving up 5 to 6 inches. And again, James Worthy making him pay the price.
Then England even following up on it, which made it worse. England off to McNeely, who got the basket. 64-48. Now Duke trying to put a little pressure on McNeely with 12 points. That equals his career high. And a foul on Vince Taylor. So with 4:27 left to be played, that is the 5th team foul on Duke.
Here Vince Taylor reaching around from behind. Duke needs...
Will be here at Duke 2 weeks from today. We'll be bringing you that ball game along the Metro Sports Television Network. Doherty on the left side. Down low, Sam Perkins got it. 66-48. 18-point lead, equaling the high of the game for North Carolina. Stripped again by Jimmy Black to Jordan, and he tried to jam, and he came off the back of the iron and was fouled by Taylor. And we're saying Jordan with all the points, but Mr. Black's the man who creates them for him.
Jimmy Black. Duke's had about 8 turnovers the second half. Jimmy Black has created about 7 of them. Here he gets the ball from behind, takes one dribble, and then just lobs it up ahead, and Michael Jordan does the rest, trying to stuff it. Hits the back of the rim. Vince Taylor hits him on the head. He'll have 2 free throws.
And you saw his feet go out from under him, but he is all right. And Mahar is coming back in. Doug McNeely going out.
I think
66-48.
Carolina has those traits. They have Jimmy Black, who can score 15, 20 points if he has to. Primarily, he's a ball-handling guard. Michael Jordan has exploded on a number of occasions, as he has done the second half today. And, of course, James Worthy and Sam Perkins controlling the inside.
He got it. You know, a columnist mentioned, I believe it was in the Raleigh paper, that's 19 now for Jordan, that this North Carolina team is not bothered on the road. They are as calm as can be. And this is a big factor in the tough ACs when it is tough to win on the road.
Dean Smith has been in the ACC for many years. He knows how tough it is on the road. He gets his teams ready to play. Winning at State last week and then winning again here at Duke are 2 big road wins for him.
Greg went with the ball out to Mahar. Chip England, California native, comes up short. Sam Perkins with it. 20-point lead for North Carolina. 3:40 left to be played in the game. Tom Emma has not seen action. He was up a couple of times, but I think just out of excitement. Here the coach, Mike Krzyzewski, but he has not seen a second of play here against the Tar Heels. Jimmy Black to Perkins, and we have a foul on Chip England after Black got rid of the ball, and that will put North Carolina on the 1-and-1. As Black gets the first of the 1-and-1, Duke will be at Clemson, East Carolina at North Carolina State, Rider at Wake Forest, and Maryland at Notre Dame. So any of those games in your area, stop in and see your favorite ball club. Misses the back end of the 1-and-1. Mahar. Duke with the ball, down by 21. Carolina with their biggest margin. That time Jimmy Black tried to use his legs to help out. Looked like one of those Russian hockey players using his skate to control the puck. He used his foot. He'll do anything to get that ball.
Jimmy Black, better known as a ball hawk. Here Vince Taylor makes a nice move. He's still after the basketball, trying to keep it alive, trying to make that steal.
There he is with the foot. He's about to move it out, get it closer to me. 69-48, 3:13 left to be played in the ball game. This is the final game of the day in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Taylor got it. Virginia has won. North Carolina State has won. Maryland has won. And North Carolina within 3 minutes of doing the same. They lead by 19. Jimmy Braddock in the game. Sam Perkins. Braddock. Out of Chattanooga. Worthy. And Tissaw with the foul. And James Worthy with the basket.
Here's Worthy cutting back the door, losing his man, open lane to the basket. He goes up, changes direction. Tissaw really hits him hard, and James Worthy will go to the line for 2 shots.
So Worthy, averaging 15 a game, has equaled that here this afternoon. And I correct myself on getting the basket. He did not. But now he has 16, so he's above his average.
He does it in such a quiet way. Not a flashy basketball player at all. Just a very solid offensive performer and definitely a leader for this Tar Heel team.
I just saw his stats. He got the second basket, and Cecil Exum, a 6'6 sophomore from Dudley, North Carolina, coming in the ball game. Also, Jeb Barlow, who is a walk-on, transferred from Lewisburg Junior College, from Fuquay Varna, North Carolina, in the ball game. Check the others for you. Went on the right side. Chris Burst is also in the ball game for North Carolina. England missing and coming away, Jeb Barlow. Peterson. Nashville product to Braddock. Got it. That's a great name, isn't it? Jimmy Braddock used to be a great fighter. Chip England. Off the glass, no good. Greg Wendt, he got it. Wendt got it, and the foul is charged to Jeb Barlow.
Here's his drive inside by Chip England. He gets it up on the glass. No foul. The ball comes off. Greg Wendt, the freshman, goes up strong. He's fouled from behind, and the basket is good.
Mike Tissaw coming out, wound up with 6 points. Well, everybody out for Carolina on the starting 5. Missed free throw, but followed up and in by Todd Anderson from Golden Valley, Minnesota. Big 6'8 freshman just in the ball game. Got his hands on the ball for the first time and converted. 71-54 North Carolina. James Worthy wound up with 17 today. Doherty with 8. Perkins with 9. 7 in the second half. 19 for Michael Jordan. Batted away by Duke. And they've got the ball. Black had 14 points. Well, that was the scoring for the first 5 for the Tar Heels. Doug McNeely with the basket. McNeely with his high in the ball game, and the highest career, I should say, 14. And Exum missing from the outside. Coming up with it, Jeb Barlow. Peterson, baseline. He got it. 73-56, a minute 16 left to be played. North Carolina will have won their 13th straight ball game of the year. Getting a stronghold on that #1 position in the AP-UP press polls for #1 in the nation as Chip England gets the basket. Jimmy Braddock into the front court. McNeely tried to strip him behind, could not come away with it. Clock in the red, 50 seconds left. Peterson in the lane and off the glass by Barlow, no good. And a whistle and a foul underneath. And it will be on the follow-up by Barlow. Duke will get the ball. They are not in the bonus. Well, again this week, North Carolina State will be coming here to Duke on Wednesday night. Then Duke will be at Clemson next Saturday, whereas Wake Forest will be at North Carolina on Thursday. Then the Tar Heels will be at winding up with 14 points. Jeff Mullins has gone courtside, and hopefully we'll be talking to Dean Smith, and some of the Tar Heels will bring you that following the conclusion of this ball game. A foul, the 6th. That was charged to Buzz Peterson, and that is the 7th foul. 6 times to the Final Four, exceeded only by Johnny Wooden of UCLA. For Dean Smith, what a job he has done. 15 consecutive postseason tournaments for North Carolina. You know what's interesting? 73-59 right now, but occasionally the Dean Smith Carolina clubs accused of holding on to the ball, etc., low scores, but yet over the last 15 years they've averaged well over 80 points a ball game. And under the ball game for the first time for North Carolina is Linwood Robinson, missing, and coming away with the rebound is John Brownlee, a freshman out of Fort Worth, Texas, for North Carolina. 73-60. So John Brownlee, 6'10" freshman from Fort Worth, and being fouled from behind by Timo Makinen from Finland for North Carolina. Rich Ford, a Durham product, a sophomore coming in for the Duke Blue Devils, and going to it is in there for both clubs as the North Carolina will be 4-0 in conference play. Duke will be 0-4. And Greg Wendt fouling the big Texan, John Brown. Marquette was leading Creighton by 2 at the half. That game's long over with, but no final. Brownlee missing the free throw. Wendt with the ball for the Blue Devils. And it is off the fingertips of who they affectionately refer to at North Carolina, the Thin Fin, Timo Makinen, 6'11.5" sophomore from Lahti, Finland. And Ford with the ball. Ford to Wendt. Makes it 10-point game, 73-63, 5 seconds left to be played. Into Peterson. And that is the ball game with the final score. First ranked North Carolina